Here we have it. Okay, we have a trucking company here that is pleading guilty to evading EPA regulations. So we have an EGR system inside our trucks. Everybody hates them ever since they came out, God knows, 10, 15 years ago. Everybody's running into issues with them. Sensors going off on your truck all the time with an EGR valve, EGR cooler. So what do trucking companies do? Some of them actually do a bypass on that truck. Basically, what they do is they disable the system from working properly, and they will reprogram their truck to not notice it. That's basically what I understand in a nutshell. How they do it, what they do it, I have absolutely no idea. But there's been lots of people that walked in here and have offered us this service. So what happens in this case over here, there's been a trucking company who has pleaded guilty for doing these bypasses. Why do I call them bypasses? Because that's what we know they're called over here. I don't know the terminology that they're using in the article that I read, but I definitely know about the bypasses that are happening all over North America. Actually, there are companies here in Canada that do these bypasses. There are companies in the US that do these bypasses. And what is it meant for? It's basically meant to disable the system to produce clean air, in a nutshell.
Did you hear the news? We finally signed our lease to our new terminal in Atlanta, Georgia.
Our 3,000 square foot warehouse is ready, fully secured, functional, and ready to go on May 1st.
So if you're a company driver, owner operator, lease operator, and want to inquire more about our positions, email me at sponsorship@ettransport.ca
or fill out this form below that I have and I'll reach out to you. Now, if you are interested in watching our 7-part series on how we opened up a trucking company in the US, click this playlist over here. And now back to that video. So here we have a trucking company that has created a system on how to bypass it and created a second company and started offering these services to North America. Okay, so the owner of a Rhode Island-based trucking company pleaded guilty in federal court to conspiring to illegally alter or bypass, that's why I call it bypass truck emissions controls. Tampering with truck emissions control places profits over public health. So if you disable, you disable the truck emissions control, your truck will have better fuel consumption. Okay, the conspiracy roughly took place from September 2014 through August 2019. Collins, his North Kingstown trucking company M&D Transportation Inc., his now defunct computer company Diesel Tune-Ups of Rhode Island Inc., various trucking and diesel vehicle sales and repair companies throughout the United States and a foreign national, all conspired together to alter or disable certain functions of the electronic control modules. So not only did they do the bypass, but then they also go into the computer system and they download a new program where it doesn't read that this truck emissions controls or this bypass has been done. So it doesn't know that something's wrong with the truck. So it doesn't know that this feature has been disabled. These types of alterations are often referred to as tunes. Now, I refer to them as bypass, but I guess they're in the US. They're referred to as tunes. Who's the guy behind it? Michael J. Collins and affiliated companies pleaded guilty to conspiracy to violate the Clean Air Act, according to an April 3rd news release from the Attorney's Office for the District of Rhode Island. Under the Federal Clean Air Act, the Environmental Protection Agency establishes standards that restrict air pollution emissions, such as nitrogen oxides from several kinds of vehicle engines. So this is just one company that's connected to other companies that are doing this. I know that there are tons of companies that are doing this bypass. I feel like this is going to set the new standard once everybody sees that these guys got sentenced to prison. I'm thinking at least 8 to 10 years that they're going to get sentenced for. This will scare people from doing this, or at least it's going to be more in the hush hush and not open as it is right now. We get offered all the time to bypass our trucks. I know owner operators definitely know where to go to get their bypasses done. So Collins, M&D Transportation, and the entire group are going to be sentenced on July 10th. Now, in order to do a bypass, just so you understand, usually costs about, I heard ranges anywhere from $2,500 to $7,500 for a bypass. Now, I'm sure that these guys were doing hundreds and hundreds of trucks. So this company was actually charging anywhere between $1,700 to $3,600 for each vehicle that they tuned. Now, I know that there was a huge lineup to get this stuff done, probably about 7, 8, 9 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago also, but I feel like it's something that people do with older trucks. With the newer fleets, usually people would not do a bypass. Newer fleets usually don't deal with this stuff or bypasses. Why? Because if you ever did a bypass bypass on a brand new 2022 or 2023 Cascadia, first of all, it will disqualify you from the warranty. So who are doing these bypasses is usually guys that have the trucks with 600,000 miles when your warranty is over. They would do this bypass because there has been a lot of problems with sensor issues with EGR valves, EGR coolers, constant problems with that filter and the system, this EGR cooling system. And that's why people do the bypass in order to get away from it. And then your problem, well, they think that they're going to be problem free with their truck. So basically, if you did this bypass on a brand new truck, if I took our new Cascadias and I would do a bypass on the truck, my warranty would be invalid. I would not be able to get any warranty work done on my truck. So usually bigger fleets, they don't do these things on their trucks. The guys that have the 600,000 miles after the warranty expires, that's usually when truck drivers, when owner operators would consider doing a tune-up. So for those of you guys that have done a tune-up, I mean, it's very easy to spot a truck with a tune-up. It's not rocket science. So basically you look at the exhaust, okay? Even when you're driving down the road, I was taught this, I don't know, a long time ago I was taught this, that it's not rocket science to spot somebody that has their EGR system disabled. Basically, you look at the exhausts, and if they are black, if they are pretty, if they are white and the chrome is a chrome looking color, then the EGR system works just fine. But if it's a much darker color, or if it's a little bit on the black side, it's very easy to spot, and it's not rocket science to see who disabled their EGR system. All right, so I'm going to introduce Tyler Amon, Special Agent in charge of EPA's Criminal Investigation Division for New England. Tampering with diesel vehicles by installing defeat devices increases emissions of smog and soot, both of which contribute to serious health problems that often disproportionately affect families, especially children, living in underserved communities. Placing profits over public health in Rhode Island has clear accountability. Let's see what they're gonna do on July 10th. I wanna see this accountability and what they're gonna do to this company that profited, I'm pretty sure probably in the millions already in the last 4 years from doing these bypasses. And then let this be a lesson for everybody else that's doing it. Guys, enough is enough. Stop. No more bypasses. And maybe if you guys know of who's doing these bypasses, put them in the comments down below. This channel is all about trucking, and if you're not already subscribed to this channel, make sure you're a subscriber. I'm Ronen, R-O-N-E-N. Why did I look at my watch? I'm Ronen, R-O-N-E-N, and I'll catch you in my next video.